Sorry, one sec. Just get my stuff set up here.
No problem.
How we doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome.
There we go. Camera's off. Okay. I'm like, what is going on here?
Are we? Oh, there you are.
There we go. So even got my mic here. There we go. How we doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Just chilling.
Oh man. Well, I am excited about your album.
Thanks, man.
And I'm excited to talk to you about it. First of all, where are you at right now?
So I'm in Boston.
You're in. Oh my God, that is my one hated town.
Yeah, why is that?
I'm a Buffalo Bill fan.
Ah, I gotcha.
I'm a Laker fan.
Dude, we piss off a lot of people with sports here. Dude, you know what it is? It's a small town with a big mouth.
Well, what it is like all my teams are like rivals with your teams.
Yeah.
I'm a Yankee fan. My family's from New York, so
I gotcha. Yeah. Of course, man. Hey, I get it. Don't worry, I totally get it.
One of the questions I have is, how is your quarantine? Especially with this new album, I'm assuming that a lot of this was taken or recorded during the time off. How did the process go for this album in regards to quarantine, and how was your quarantine?
Yeah, so I mean, my quarantine, I would say that it was it was better than a lot of people. So, I'm extremely grateful and fortunate that I had it pretty easy going. I was living in Brooklyn, and I got the hell out of there as soon as that started. And I went and stayed with my mother. Her place is in Rhode Island. So I just took it easy for a few months, worked remotely. It's a pain paying Brooklyn rent while not even living there. So it's like, eventually I just moved out. But the thing that, I joined the band at the start of the pandemic. Like they gave me the call like March 9th or something, so it was a few months to really like spend time writing music and, getting a lot of ideas together and really just talking to the band about saying like, all right, we have replaced the songwriter. Like, how do we make this still sound like a Rumjacks record, So we spent a lot of time in pre-production, and I think the quarantine actually gave us, a lot of time to just stay put and work on that stuff.
For a guy that's coming in and replacing somebody in a band that is, very loved, do you find any sort of, is that intimidating for you? Is that exciting for you? What kind of feelings do you put with that?
Yeah, it was definitely intimidating. Because, the previous singer songwriter, he's a great songwriter. And for me, I've always just played in punk bands, so I was like, oh geez, we got to really like pull this off, so I got to really take my songwriting seriously. And then also knowing like the band, they have like a huge existing fan base.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it's kind of inevitable that everything I would write would get compared to the past, but I didn't let that affect anything. I just said, all right, I'm just going to ignore all that, try to let all that just disappear in the background, and just like write the best songs that we can, that we're proud of and that we're stoked to play live,
Yeah. The thing with, I love punk. Like that is, what made me fall in love with music as a whole. Mm-hmm. In our area, we have a big fan, or we have a big, it's called Nardcore. I'm not sure if you've heard of that kind of.
Yeah, of course.
Hardcore, yeah. Ill Repute,
of course.
Oxnard, punk rock.
With Words Kids on LSD.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, I love that shit.
And that's what made me fall in love. Like that area while I was growing up, I was a child while watching this happen in front of me with, um,
Man, so
one
you
of,
grew up watching Ill Repute play?
yeah,
I'm so jealous. Damn, that is so sick.
Stalag 13. I mean, there's just so many like great bands that, that time frame.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, man.
and I was just lucky, in my head, I thought there was a nardcore in every city,
Yeah.
but we were just that lucky and special, that for
Yeah.
that time. Um, I hear the punk in there, but I also hear older folk
Mm-hmm.
mixed in with it. When you're coming in as a punk guy and you're understanding who the Rumjacks are, like you didn't divert from the path. You kept it going. When you're writing this music, like what were the changes that you had to make? And was there some sort of time? Was there some sort of time that you had to do some research and educate yourself in this kind of music?
Yeah, I think for me, my songwriting changed that I started writing a lot more like story-based songs. So I was looking at, their type of like, what they did before. And I was like, there's a lot of like stories, which I never really did before. So I kind of added in a lot of that stuff. And then I go through like phases where I listen to like the most random stuff. And for like a little while, I was listening to this like collection of Union Civil War songs.
Oh shit!
Just
That's
like sung by like the Union soldiers. Um, and I was like, some of that shit's cool. And so it actually totally did make its way into like the intros of like one of the songs where it's like it's supposed to sound like an old soldier song from like the Civil War, which is weird. Completely bizarre, but I think it worked. It ended up being cool. It was like the first single off the album, Sainted Millions, has this intro that's completely not like the rest of the song. And it was just because I was like, I don't know, just listening to weird.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, it was
That's
strange.
weird because I do the same shit. Like
Mhm.
I'll listen to pirate shanties or
Yeah,
I'll listen to like Disney songs. Just like when no one's around
dude,
me.
those are well written. Those are so
Yeah.
well, like the Disney songs, like the people who put those together are like music, like complete psychopaths that like knows know music theory so well that they know how to like put a song together that's gonna like really toy with like people's emotions and make them feel that like classic Disney. I don't know. I think about that stuff a lot.
Yeah.
People who write for movies.
And that's what I try to get from these. Like, how do they, just like to try to dissect it
Yep.
and learn as much as I can. And not necessarily because I'm um, an artist, but to understand it more. So when I write about it, I'm not this asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, totally. Dude, the Moana soundtrack, it's so good.
Oh
The
my God.
melodies
So
are
good.
the melodies are like so catchy in like the best way, but yeah.
We have like this radio. I do like a podcast, a radio show forever. It was started out as a radio, and the radio sort of died and transformed into podcast.
Mhm.
And I would write parody songs to these Disney songs
Yeah.
and yeah. Well, anyways, and that album, the Moana album, I kept write. I wrote almost I wrote a parody song talking shit about my guys.
Yeah.
Every single one to the whole Moana soundtrack.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right.
I just came to say you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a good one.
The You're Welcome song.
Yeah.
I wrote that song for my community.
Mhm.
Like just talking about how great I am and how they're lucky to have me, the music community.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right, the one song, my favorite song on this album, Hestia,
Hestia.
Hestia, sorry,
Yeah.
is Good Night and Make Amends. That is an instant banger. Like at the end of the night, you can listen to that and drink, and like it's sort of like a goodbye song,
Yeah.
a fun goodbye song. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was what just out of curiosity, how did you guys create that one? And like what was the mindset going into that song?
Yeah. So that was actually definitely the most personal on the album. So one of my like really good friends, Liz, she passed away last June.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it was complications with surgery, and then she had issues, and then COVID in the hospital, and then it all was just like too much, you know.
yeah.
And she was a poet, and we had she was okay. She was the type of person it would be like I'd have work the next morning, and she'd be walking to the bar. She'd walk past my apartment, and she'd bang on the window, be like, "Get out of bed, we're going drinking." I'd be like, "Yo, Liz, I gotta work in the morning." She's like, "Come on, one shot at the Irish Village." And I'm like, "Oh, all right." So she was like that type of person, you know, just like rambunctious. And we had always talked about just writing, you know, a song together because she was a poet and never got around to it. Um, so I took some of her lines of her poetry and kind of used it to write lyrics and like rework a little bit of it to like make the chorus of that song. So that was like us finally getting to write a song together. Because like I write about like my friends whenever they pass away, it's just like it just inevitably makes its way into the music. I've been that way since I was like 15, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah. So I mean, and so that was how that song came out.
It is like that song I've listened to so many times.
Yeah,
Like I try to listen to his like all the songs over and over again, or
yeah,
the album until something like pops in my head, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
like this is a song I love, and I just love it. And like even I was in the car with my son, and we're just talking, driving to football practice or whatever, and we were listening to this, and now it's on his playlist.
wow,
So, and he's a kid, I mean, he's like
yeah,
15 years old. Like, if it's not Lil Yachty, he doesn't give a fuck,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But to get that, and to me, that was like, oh, I'm making progress with this guy.
Damn,
So
dude, that's huge.
that's a
That's weird. That's the weird thing for me. I'm not used to that. Like people actually listen to this stuff. Like my band back home or back in Boston, like, we've got our little following and stuff, but it's all people we know for the most part. Okay, used to be. It's like since then it's grown, but I'm not used to it in like the way the size of the Rumjacks are. I'm like, damn, there are people, like a lot of people that listen to this. And that to me is so weird. I'm not at all like I was never expecting that, although I totally knew that was, I knew what I was getting into. But yeah, that for me is the biggest like shock.
Well, congratulations, man. Because like a lot of times we live our whole lives waiting for someone to hear our voice.
Yeah.
And
No,
you
thank you.
you have a voice now, and that voice is beautiful. Um, this whole album was magically put together. It's a magical album for me, and it will definitely go. It goes down as that.
No, thanks, man. No, put a lot into it. Just knowing like I was like given this opportunity. Okay, my it was like an old like counselor of mine said, like when I was in high school, he was like, listen, to whom much is given, much is expected. So if you're given an opportunity, like you need to really appreciate that. So the fact that I was given the opportunity to be in this band, I was like, all right, I'm gonna like put everything into this and work my ass off and like learn a lot about songwriting and really put together the best album that we can.
When you come into an organization that's going like the Rumjacks, is there like do you guys say, all right, well, here, work with this guy, and then they help you like writing, or is it like a collective effort where you guys are like, all right, well, what do you feel, type thing?
So I mean, with this one, so, since it was the first one with me in it, um, I wrote like a million demos, and then we all got together in Milan, Italy, because that's the band lives scattered throughout Europe right now,
Mhm.
but the manager owns a studio in Milan, so that's like our, I guess, like meeting point, and that's where we recorded. So we just sat around for like weeks we'd go to the studio. It was literally just like going to work. Like they had times we had to be there and everything. And we would go and we would sit all day and listen to songs and say, all right, let's put this one in the yes category, this one in the maybe. And then that's when they would start like, okay, what if we do this? What if we do this? And start kind of changing the ideas around. And then we narrowed it down to like 14 songs that we released digitally. And there's a 15th song that's just on the vinyl. And yeah, so I kind of strayed there, but
how was Milan?
It was cool. It was when the virus had gone down a lot. I know Italy got hit pretty bad initially, and then then it was like practically gone. So when we were there, it felt a little bit normal. Still pretty distanced and masked and everything. But yeah, no, I don't know. It was cool. I love it there.
Were you able to go get some good food or?
Dude, unreal every day. Just walking to like the train station, you just like pop in and like get these like little pastries and things that are all incredible. And then some of the best food I had there was this Palestinian restaurant that was like right next to us and right next to where we were living. So like they hooked it up. That was like the best food in Italy, which is so funny because which is insulting to the Italian people. I don't actually mean that, but no, that was our regular spot. That was our staple spot.
So through this album, I mean, this got to be a special occasion for you. Mm-hmm. And in writing this, I mean, this is definitely milestones in your life. What was or is your favorite song on this album that you're the most proud of? Like you stand by it, like, Mom, look at this, type thing.
Yeah. For me, that would be Rhythm of Her Name.
Rhythm of the Name, okay.
Why? I don't know, something about that song. Just the way it came together, the way it sounds, everything about it. I'm just like, all right, this feels like the first real song I've written. And it sounds different than the rest of the album, so it's kind of weird. Like, the rest of the next albums, they're not gonna like sound like that song, but there's something about that song that just I don't know, it's my favorite.
When you're you come from small band or local band, I would assume, right? And then you go, now you're a year in with the Rumjacks. Are there things that you've learned like, fuck, I've been doing this shit wrong the whole time?
A little bit. Some of it is like, well, learn when to okay, there was a lot that I learned, like, okay, what a record label actually does for a band, like stuff like that, how to like properly promote an album and like singles and stuff. It's just stuff that we weren't doing. Like we put out an album and we're just like, all right, here we go, check it out. And then like that's kind of it. And then we're like, why is no one listening to this? And it's like, so I learned a lot about like the industry itself so far. And then I think the emphasis on pre-production before recording, like before we had our songs and we would go in and record. Like we did an album with Pete from the Bouncing Souls and he produced it. And we just kind of went in with like 12 songs, just pretty much like recorded on phones of us just playing in the practice space. Whereas I think next time when that band records, like we're going to have like demos like put together. So we know going in, like, this is how it's going to sound, just with better equipment,
Yeah. All right, let me see what else I got. Yeah, do you have a good story about creating the album? Like a funny story or just something, that you can share with us that would be entertaining for the Rumjack fans?
So a lot of the lyrics weren't finished when I got to Milan. And so I'm new to this group of dudes. Like I've known them, in the past, but this was the first time we'd been in close quarters for a long amount of time. And I've played in bands before. I've gone on countless tours. For some reason, I just like could not sleep with the amount of snoring that was in this apartment. Because we're like sharing rooms and stuff. Like we went through like 2 different apartments. Like it was the same complex, but we moved rooms and stuff. And like I would just have nights where I was just like unable to sleep. And I'm just like, damn, this is like insane. This is like crazy snoring I've never even like heard of. There's something medically wrong with these dudes. And so I would go to the studio one day and we were like going to record, and I'm just like, when you don't sleep, you get agitated.
Yeah,
It's like
irritated fast.
it's like hangry, but like for sleep, you know?
And it's a whole
And I'm
day.
just like,
It doesn't just
yeah,
go away
yeah.
when you have a burger or something.
And like, I'm like obviously not mad at the dudes, but I was just like in a mood, and I'm just like, they're like, all right, we're gonna do this. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna go fucking write lyrics in the other room. I don't know. I just need to go. And I just like sit down, start writing. Kind of like not angsty, but like a little like I don't know, I'm fueled. I'm just like pissed off, but still writing. I'm just like, oh, this is fucking good. And I was like, oh damn, this is sick. Yeah. And then like wrote a few lines that made it onto the album that I'm like, damn, I really fucking love these lyrics. And it was just from me not sleeping and being like pissed off, and then like really writing something good out of it.
Man, I really thought that you're gonna dump a snoring line in there. I was like, oh
No. Imagine that. That would be so cheesy. No, it was in the song Wanderlust, which is like it's like one of the ska songs on the album. We got like 3 ska songs on the album. One of them's hidden, one of them's on the vinyl, but I love ska. Actually, one of my favorite shows I've ever been to, I saw the Voodoo Glow Skulls in East LA.
Oh,
and that was like, I was like, this is the place to see them. It was at that bowling alley venue. Yeah. Man, that was so cool.
Man, anytime I see a local ska band, I do whatever I can to help them out.
Yeah.
Because there's none. It is like, I'm not sure if it's just unsexy for people that they don't want to do it, but I love ska, and it's like widely underrated, or like there's just not enough good ska out there.
That's why I try to put it on the albums as much as possible. Like out here, we've got the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and Big D and the Kids Table. So I grew up playing in ska bands like all through high school.
Oh, you did? Huh?
Oh yeah. Yep. I played trombone and sang. Like I was like in it,
Oh, you played trombone too?
Yeah.
Damn. And do you think that's the thing too? Is because like, man, it's hard enough to get 4 people to get together, but imagine like 8 people.
Dude, that was rough. My Boston band, we have 8 people, Mickey Rickshaw, and that is, you just got to commit to one day of the week and make sure everyone can do Thursdays for practice. If not, you just make fun of them, and then that's it. One of them is going back to school, and he's like, I can't go to practice. I've got too much homework. And we're like, dude, you're like 28. You don't have homework. And we're just like making fun of him.
Yeah, that doesn't fly with me, man. Any of my guys, I don't give a fuck. What?
Yeah.
There's homework. There's no time after practice.
Yeah, but it was funny.
When I was in college, I got out of the service and I went to college, so I was an older guy. But man, that math would fuck me up. I literally be up to like 3 o'clock in the morning trying to solve basic math.
Dude, my brain just doesn't work with math for some reason. Like I can do languages.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's where it can.
Yeah, language and instruments and stuff, but math, I don't know why. I don't know. It's just our brains are like wired the way they are, I guess. I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't do languages either.
Oh yeah.
I can't do music. I can't do shit. All I can do is talk to people, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all you need.
All right. And I guess my last question would be, what is the rest of 2021 look like for the Rumjacks?
So I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, but we're getting back to Italy and we're writing and recording more stuff.
Hell yeah.
I don't know when that's going to be out, but that's it's going to be a whole thing. So we're getting new material prepared, and then we're starting to play again. Obviously safely. We don't want to jump into it just as quick as possible, just to like get, just to get on stage. So there are a few shows out in Europe that are going to be happening currently, we think. And if it's safe enough, then we'll go ahead and play those. yeah, the rest of 2021 is just going to be, I guess, like hopeful. It's like okay, the storm's passing, but we're not out of it yet,
Yeah. Yeah, we had our first show last night.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Yeah. But I mean, it was more of like a quarter of the occupancy. Like it's a 1,500 or 1,200 seat place. We only can let 120 people in.
I gotcha. Yeah, see, I went to that pretty irresponsible hardcore show in New York, but and we didn't get a big spike. Dog, Madball played in Tompkins Square Park. It was like 4,000 people.
Are you serious? And
yeah, everyone was pissed about it.
Oh shit.
Everyone started posting photos of like New York hardcore, and YHC is just like, now you have COVID.
Man.
It was like Murphy's Law and Madball. It was
Did you catch COVID?
No, I didn't.
I did.
Really? Twice?
Twice, yeah.
Oof, you do all right with it?
Yeah. The first time I caught it, that's how I stopped smoking. Because you have this like you're a hard time to breathe. But the second time was pretty.
Imagine. Yeah.
It was easy.
Yeah.
I already built up some sort of immune to it. So it was just my butt hurt. That's it. Like wow. A hip, my right hip.
Really?
Yeah. And I had a little bit of back issues. And like when they say you can't taste, that's not bullshit. Like you really can't taste.
Yeah, I was thirsty. Scares me.
I told my son, I was like, hey, do you think I should pound this pickle juice? I pounded the pickle juice, didn't taste shit.
Wow. That's hydrating too.
Yeah. I knew it's pickle juice because of the texture. You know what I mean?
It's still slimy.
Yeah, but you can't taste anything.
Wow.
At all.
Dude, that is wild.
Yeah. And I thought like, because the day before there was no like, oh, I'm sick or whatever. It was just, we were cooking, I was cooking mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yeah.
A meatloaf, mashed potatoes for my kid. That's his favorite meal that we make.
Solid meal.
And I'm eating it, like, I'm like, what the fuck? I need to put more salt.
Start throwing salt on everything. Yeah.
More salt. And I guess it was good at the first, but at the, when we were done cooking it, my wife didn't have it yet. We didn't know, no one knew.
Yeah, of course.
And then like, man, this is salty as fuck. I'm like, man, it needs more salt.
Oh my, dude, that is my old roommates. They said the same thing. They were like, yeah, I was just throwing salt on everything. There's so much salt. Wow, that's crazy.
Mike, dude, I appreciate you so much.
Dude, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Kind words too.
And I love what you got going on. Good luck. Go do it. Like you're doing it, man. Like I know I don't know you, but I'm proud of your situation. Like dude, you came into a situation and you fucking knocked it out of the park. So good job,
man. I appreciate it. Dude, thanks a lot, man.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.